in brotherhood we stand.
Thursday's sitting was the closing session for the 4 days public hearing by the investigative panel. The panel focused on the implications of imprisonment with options of fines and failure of convict to pay such fines, creating congestion in the correctional centers. Correctional Officer L.C. Cyrus told the panel that the Nigerian Correctional Service has no authority to detain anyone without proper legal documentation, particularly in cases involving court-ordered fines.
Where the individual is unable to pay compensation before the end of the jail term, that compensation is converted into a jail term on the warrant. And then where that particular order is not given on the warrant, the officers report this matter before the court that has actually convicted this individual and talk to them on the issue of the compensation. And then it's the judge or the magistrate that will either convert the compensation to a jail term or order the release of this particular individual.
Cyrus also revealed that an amendment to the 2015 Act is underway. This amendment proposes the creation of a Victim Compensation Trust Fund, funded from federal allocations to settle victims' fine payments when they cannot afford them.
So what this means is that if an individual at the end of his jail term who has a compensation to pay is unable to pay, the individual may be asked to go on some service, that will yield proceeds, money or something. But then it does not really matter if the individual is asked to go to farm and then he'll be paid and then the proceeds from that farming is paid into the government. What matters is that the compensation to the victim will be paid from this trust fund without having anything to do with the inmate now who is unable to pay.
Deputy Controller General of Corrections Ibrahim Idris disclosed that 28,149 inmates have been released after payment of fines, a move that has reduced congestion in the centers. He said more detailed statistics will be presented later, but stressed the importance of the initiative for decongesting correctional facilities.
The less number of inmates we have under incarceration, the less burden and the less opportunity for us to do proper rehabilitation. Because even before the 2019 Act, the philosophy of Nigerian Correctional Service has always been imprisonment as a punishment and not for punishment. Once it is pronounced, it is already punishment. Whether the person comes to the correctional center or not, it's already taken care of.
Idris praised the collaboration of stakeholders in facilitating the payment of fines and compensation of inmates who work in correctional service firms and workshops while awaiting the payment of their fines, noting that some inmates were even provided repatriation money upon release. He urged the public to continue supporting the service in its rehabilitation mission.
That payment of fines and the compensation is a very charitable thing to do. It helps the federal government a lot. But when an individual wants to do it, he should follow the example of the Honorable Minister. Whereas inmates were choosing, and the compensation, the fine were paid, and the inmates were even given repatriation money.
As the panel continued its hearing, proposed reforms, particularly the Victim Compensation Trust Fund, signal a shift toward balancing justice for victims with the rehabilitation of offenders. For the Correctional Service, the challenge remains how to manage overcrowding while ensuring that punishment, fines and compensation serve their intended purpose without leaving inmates or victims stranded in the process. In Abuja, I am Chimisi Zedima for Signature TV.